Our project started with a simple question. How do earthworms affect ecosystems? Crossing the ocean in the 1600s, earthworms are an invasive species in North America, and we were curious about how they might change our landscapes. Earthworms are important ecosystem engineers and affect things soil chemistry, decomposition rates, plant health, and plant dispersal. We decided to focus our research on earthworms and their relationship with both biomass of plants and species richness. Both are used as indicators of ecosystem and plant health. Studies have shown conflicting data on the two variables, and we wanted to understand what was really going on. Using search engines such as JSTOR and Web of Science, we sifted through thousands of studies to find ones with relevant data on the subject. We ended up compiling 15 unique studies on each variable. To analyze the data, we created a dataset for average change in above and below ground biomass and used a t-test to understand if there's a significant difference. For species richness, we used a binomial test to understand if the number of studies showing earthworms had an effect on richness was significant or not. For biomass, we found that shoot biomass was more affected by the presence of earthworms than root biomass, although there was not a significant difference between the two. Root biomass had more studies that showed more negative effects of earthworms, but total plant biomass was conserved across studies. The difference in root and shoot ratios is likely due to the change in nitrogen allocation and interference of earthworm burrowing and root establishment. For species richness, we found on average that earthworms did show an effect on species richness and diversity. Whether it be a negative impact or positive one, earthworms are shaping the community composition. Although our tests were not statistically significant, we presume an increase in the sampling size would make the relationship more clear. A common problem we found was the difference of species type between the studies. Different studies use different species in functional groups, and earthworms have specific effects on unique species. To further our research, it would be interesting to take our study a step further and analyze the effects on individual species' health. Overall, our study shows that earthworms are hard at work under the soil and can have significant effects on our plants, both good and bad. This study can tell us more about what the presence of an invasive species can mean and the trade-offs that come with it.